Welcome everyone. In today's video we're gonna review the game between Stefan Levitsky and Frank Marshall. This is known as the Gold Coins game. It is one of the greatest chess games of all time, and in today's review we're gonna see arguably the greatest chess move that's ever been played. So let's begin reviewing this game. This play was played by Stefan Levitsky and Frank Marshall. Marshall was the very famous grandmaster from the United States of America. Levitsky was a Russian grandmaster. So let's begin analyzing this game. So d4 played by Levitsky. Levitsky is with white pieces. e6 is played by Marshall, and this really quickly turns into the French defense. After knight c3 and c5, this move is known as the Marshall variation because the Marshall, this guy, which is playing with black, played extensively when he was playing French. So it's his variation. He popularized it. He played it during his time. So c5 during the French defense, you have to remember that is a Marshall variation. After knight f3, knight c6, takes, bishop e2, knight f3, knight f6, castles, and bishop e2. So bishop e7. So position is very equal. We have two knights developed. Two knights also developed on the black side, bishop on e2 and bishop on e7. Only advantage that white has is that it's castle, and only liability that black has is that he has one pawn more sort of advanced than developed. Now bishop g5 is played by Levitsky, castles, taking pawn on c5, and bishop e6 is played by Frank Marshall. Knight d4, taking pawn by by Marshall on c5. Engine actually suggested that before he played bishop e6, he had to take the pawn. It was a better move because it allowed black to have some threat on the f2 square and have more developed bishop. But Marshall decided to go with this. After this exchange, position is completely equal. Bishop g4 played by Levitsky. Bishop here is kind of a weird square. Even though it attacks the pawn, this pawn can be defended very easily. Like, black can go many different ways. It can go here, which is also playable. Like, I haven't thought of pushing this pawn even, which is actually not a good move. But yeah, for my 1400 mind, this move made sense. But Frank Marshall decides to go with queen d6. After bringing back the bishop, because after this move the bishop was attacked because it was no longer pinned. It brings back Levitsky brings back the bishop. Rook e8 is played, rook e8 played by Marshall, queen d2, and now Marshall goes bishop b4. Well, bishop b4 pins the knight to the queen and activates bishop to a more direct square where it can see many different things. So now taking the knight by Levitsky. Now Marshall takes with the rook d1, and rook d1 is played by Levitsky. After queen c5, well, Levitsky goes queen e2. We might think that after takes, you're losing a pawn, but in actuality, Levitsky played this move after that sequence. It's a very magnificent move because if you takes, bring back the rook to f8, check, only move here, and it's actually mate. So in this position you can't really take the rook here because you would get mated. After knight d4, and now we'll see the most we see the blunder in the position. Queen h5 was absolutely horrible move because Marshall just can avoid this threat with rook f8, and he goes for rook f8. This move absolutely destroys the position of the white. You can see that white has these rooks and this bishop here. Black is very active. It has two rooks staring down at this. It has queen, it has knight active, so it will be very hard, almost impossible to defend this position against black. Rook e5 is played by Marshall, and rook h6 attacking queen by Marshall. After queen g5 by Levitsky, now brilliant move in the position, rook takes h3 by Frank C. Marshall. This is absolutely magnificent move. If you take the rook, you get royal forked. For you can't escape the fork if you take that. So Levitsky didn't fall for this. He played much better move, which is rook c5. It attacks the queen. Queen has to move, and he will try to have a position where he will be down a queen, but he will actually get some counterplay. And after that, you might think that Levitsky has gotten out of everything, and absolutely magnificent Queen G3 is played by Marshall. His move is absolutely magnificent, out of this world, and Levitsky instantly resigned. After that move, spectators actually threw gold coins to the players. It was so amazing, because this move is just a piece of and the magnificence of art, and I don't know what to say. It is just beautiful. You thought that you can move the queen, you can do something like this, but Queen G3, no one would have thought Queen G3 was the right move here. Frank Marshall, absolutely magnificent move. Let's analyze this move. If you take with the pawn here, knight to check, only moves to go king h1, and this is mate. Okay, let's see if you take with this pawn. Now knight e2 is mate. It simply is mate because it can't go here because rook protects the square. And if you take with the queen, knight e2 check still, king h1, and now knight takes g3 check. You have to take with you can't take anything. You can't take this because you would get mate. So only move is to go king g1, and now you take this rook, and you will have a massive 5-point advantage. So you will win the game. So this was absolutely magnificent. I think this is arguably the greatest chess move that has ever played. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe my channel. Check me out on Twitch and Twitter. I would give my handles down below in the description. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.